Save more than half price on Purdue Fresh Value Pack chicken drumsticks, only $1.79 per pound, $4.99 for extra large sweet delicious cantaloupes. It's all new Tama macaroni, fusilli, spaghetti, or penny pasta. $1.69 for a 500-gram package. Everything's better with Bluebonnet margarine on it. $1.79 for a 1-pound package of sticks. $3.29 for a package of 6 ears frozen bird's eye corn on the cob. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday, February the 3rd, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Parliament resumed today for the first time since that anti-airport demonstration outside of the House of Assembly in early December. Police were fully prepared for a large group of demonstrators to turn out to protest the airport. However, as you can see, no one turned out. That could be due to House Speaker Randolph Horton delaying debate on the controversial airport redevelopment until next week to allow MPs additional time to review documents submitted by government. When our cameraman Garrett Fletcher turned up at the scene at around 9 a.m. this morning, most MPs had already entered the chamber except for MPs Sean Crockwell and Mark Pettingill, who were seen reporting for duty. One person making his presence known on the streets today was Senator and Minister of National Security Jeff Barron, who was seen greeting some curious bystanders, as well as the police officers on duty. Police went all out in preparing for today's session of Parliament with special vans stationed outside to ensure security. Parliamentarians were scheduled to debate America's Cup, immigration, and gaming. Despite the show of force by police, the large group of protesters they had prepared for never materialized. Meantime, Premier Michael Dunkley confident the heightened police presence outside the House of Assembly today was warranted. This as he explains there was a need to ensure that those elected to do the people's business were in fact allowed to do so. The police action was meant to prevent any recurrence of what happened on December 2nd of last year when MPs were prevented from entering the House of Assembly to debate the controversial airport redevelopment legislation. Premier Dunkley telling Gary Moreno there was no government involvement in the decision.
First and foremost, the action plan is up to the Commissioner and his colleagues to deal with. So they set out what they deemed appropriate, and they've enacted it. I'm pretty sure that they talked to all parties involved and told them what to expect. If you look at parliaments around the world, there seems to be much higher level of security around those parliaments. It's unfortunate that we've come to that, but this is the place for the people's business to take place. But Gary, the people's business can't take place unless the people we're elected to represent are actually in the House. And so it's important that we get in and conduct business. We are delighted to be back in here now. Anyone who wants to get in and listen to and watch the proceedings can get in. Similar to what you did before, you have to provide your ID and you can get a seat. When the galleries are full, like before, you couldn't get in the House. And so there's no denying of access. People can still have the opportunity to listen and see what's taking place. And I urge people to come out and take advantage of seeing debates on many important subjects today.
Concerned that this might be the calm before the storm, bearing in mind that the contentious legislation is going to be debated next week?
Gary, governing is always very difficult. We became the government in a very difficult time in 2012, within this country was in dire situation, and we've worked assiduously over the past 4 years to turn that around. None of the decisions we've made have been easy decisions, and you know, the airport redevelopment project is one of those decisions where people have very strong views for and some against. We've taken the time through this process to continue to elucidate and amplify what the plan will mean, to break down some of the misinformation and the prevarication that's taken place. You know, fact is that vast amount of people believe we need a new airport.
However, Shadow Public Safety Minister Walter Orban was not so sure about the police action, wondering whether it may not have been in the best interest of democracy.
We're disappointed and saddened by the situation, Mr. Moreno. We don't think this was needed. It is telling in a country where Presumably, the government seems to be afraid to receive the people, to listen to their concerns, and when they have they feel a justified reason to object to the government's work, the government seems to be fearful of allowing them to come and show their objections. This is a sad day for Bermuda democracy. It seems to have continued on from December 2nd, and we know what happened December 2nd, but here we're having the ripples of that day seem to be still with us, and we have a government that has decided that it doesn't want the people here as we're deliberating. And here we have a very extensive police presence, sadly, to seemingly protect us from the people. We in the PLP don't believe we need protection, sadly, but the government, the OBA government, feel they do.
The Premier has, well, it could be argued that would the police presence not been in place, that there could have been another situation where MPs would be debarred from entering the House of Assembly to conduct the people's business, as the Premier likes to say. So this was a preemptive action on the part of the Bermuda Police Service and not the government.
Well, perhaps those are the discussions that the police had with the government. We have not been involved with those discussions, so I do not know if they came to those conclusions. Perhaps you need to talk to the police commissioner and the Premier about that. But we here in the PLP are saddened by this situation, and we believe that the people should be allowed access to come and hear their business.
In other news tonight, the United States military will hand over 3 refurbished vans and a truck to the Royal Bermuda Regiment next week, according to News. The vehicles, 3 Toyota vans and an Isuzu truck, were formerly based at a U.S. Navy base in Japan and gifted to the regiment by the U.S. Northern Command. They traveled thousands of miles to Georgia for a makeover before being shipped to Bermuda for use by the island's soldiers. U.S. Consul General Mary Ellen Koenig said the donation represents the continuation of the long, strong tradition of close ties between the U.S. military and Bermuda. Well, stay with us. More news and tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
You can count on us.
Save $3 on New Zealand leg of lamb, $4.99 per pound. Save $2 on all varieties of potatoes, $4.99 for a 5-pound bag. Only $1.69 for a 5-ounce tin of Bumblebee chunk-like tuna in water. Hers potato chips, $2.99 for selected varieties of 5.3-ounce bags. Can't have a Super Bowl party without Diet Coke, regular or Coca-Cola Light. $6.39 for a 6-pack. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Calling all Bermudian University graduates. Have you considered a fast-paced and rewarding career in financial regulation?
As Bermuda's sole financial services regulator, the Bermuda Monetary Authority plays a key role in our success in the international business arena.
If you are driven, focused, and ready to challenge yourself, then apply to our graduate training program.
Visit bma.bm for details or check out our Facebook page.
We're accepting applications from January 3rd until March 31st.
The Bermuda Monetary Authority's graduate training program.
Challenge yourself.
In court news, a 45-year-old Sandsman today admitted to sexually exploiting 2 children. Appearing in magistrate's court this morning, Gladwin Daniels pleaded guilty to 6 charges, including showing offensive material to a child, touching a child under the age of 16 for sexual purposes, inciting the child to touch him for sexual purposes, and committing an indecent act on the presence of a child on an unknown date between January the 1st, 2014 and July 17th of 2016. According to the prosecutor, Maria Sofianos, Daniels was arrested and charged after the victims disclosed the abuse to a relative. Ms. Sofianos added that the Crown will be seeking a lengthy prison sentence. Meanwhile, defense counsel Alexandra Wheatley told the court that Daniels had been an outpatient at the Mid-Atlantic Wellness Institute for 23 years. She requested pre-sentencing reports, including a psychiatric assessment. Daniels had his bail extended until his next court appearance at the end of March, when he will learn his fate. In other news, new Bermuda Tourism Authority boss Kevin Dallas has dismissed the myth that Bermuda authorities are in collusion with the British government to ensure British Airways maintains a monopoly on the Bermuda to London link. He cleared the air when asked for an update on the island's efforts to lure another airline to fly between the island and London to compete with BA.
And I can tell you categorically that it's not true. It's a route that we, the Ministry, and the Department of Airport Operations would all love to see competition on. The reality has been that there hasn't been a viable partner that's been willing and able to serve that route that we've been able to entice to come here. That's a challenge that we and they continue to work on, and that's one of the examples of where we think that actually having a partner to help operate the airport who had a relationship that's deeper than ours with some of the other European airlines would be beneficial.
Are we still subsidizing airlines to come here?
So here at the BTA, what we do is we provide marketing support in the areas where new capacity is being developed. So, last year we had a 43% increase in the air capacity out of New York. So in partnership with that, the BTA has been channeling more of our marketing resources into the New York area to make sure that where we're adding supply, we grow demand.
You've been at the helm for a month now. How are you finding it?
So I can honestly say that I love coming to work every day. We have a fantastic team here at the BTA, and we have a huge opportunity that's in front of us. There are lots of challenges, but I find every reason to be optimistic.
Elsewhere, Mr. Dallas, on the job for just 1 month, believes progress is being made to reverse the overseas image of Bermuda as a destination for the elderly, as mentioned by CNN presenter Richard Quest.
So the good news is that I think we actually are making a lot of progress on changing that destination. And I think the proof is in the 2016 numbers. So while the overall growth was good to see, what was especially good to see is the growth in younger visitors. So the BTA and our partners have been working really hard to help reposition Bermuda. So last year was the first time, I think in my lifetime, that the majority of visitors to Bermuda were actually under 45. So we're making a lot of progress there, and the good news is that we're making that progress without losing the older demographic as well. So all of our growth is in younger visitors, and we're holding on to the older, more traditional visitor that we've got as well.
In other news tonight, 2 Bermudian prison officers have completed training in the Cayman Islands on the use of force. Officers Stephen Simons and Juan Luby traveled to Cayman, which is Bermuda's sister territory, to complete the certificates in use of force training with 2 internationally certified instructors based in the Cayman Islands. 9 local new recruits also took part in the program. Use of force in prison settings is often relied upon by prison officers as a means of safety and maintaining order. The course is designed to teach officers the knowledge and skills necessary to safely and successfully handle any situation they may find themselves in while on the job. Turning to weather news, mostly sunny with a possible shower or two for the weekend, but mostly nice. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer. Hopefully you had a great day today. We are looking at some changes as we get closer to the weekend here. We'll take a look at what's going on with the water vapor loop. Now, when you have the yellow here, this is where we have the drier air in place. So right now we're kind of between 2 systems. We had a nice day today, but look what's coming off the east coast of the United States. That's more moisture, and that's what's going to be moving into our area once we get into tomorrow. So here's a look at things with the satellite and radar. You can see just off the coast of the U.S. there. That's where we are seeing that frontal boundary. That will be moving into town once we get into your Saturday. So we will be seeing some rain, and with the rain, also an uptick with the winds as well. Here's a zoom-in look at what's going on right now across the region. The rain still off to our north and west, but those winds will be increasing throughout the overnight hours tonight. Could see gusts as high as 30 to 35 knots, and we also will have a small craft warning going in place starting tonight and through tomorrow. We'll take a look at current conditions right now. We are seeing an increase with that moisture, so humidity is between 75 and 80%. Temperatures right now across the region in the upper 60s, so pretty close to normal for this time of the year. The wind out of the west 5 to 10 knots. The water 67 degrees, and waves outside are between 5 and 8 feet. Here's a look at the forecast for tonight for Hamilton. As I mentioned, increasingly windy. As we get into tonight, overnight low temperatures will be in the low 60s with partly cloudy skies. Once we get into tomorrow night, that's when we will see that colder air behind the frontal boundary. So for your Saturday, it's not going to be an all-day rain event. Most of the rain will come early in the morning hours and then tapering off late in the day on Saturday. Still going to be a windy day tomorrow. If you have plans on heading out onto the water, remember that small craft warning still out there with gusts as high as 40 40 miles per hour. And take a look at the overnight low temperature for tomorrow. It will be much cooler, 55 degrees. It's going to be a cold Saturday night. So if you are going out on the water tomorrow, make sure you exercise caution. Right down there, you can see the tidal time. So use caution, but also have a great time out on the water for this weekend. A look at the getaway forecast here, Toronto, Canada. Temperatures in the 20s. New York City also seeing cooler than normal temperatures. And into Boston, temperatures in the 30s. Atlanta, temperatures are in the 50s. We'll check out current conditions right now into Jamaica. A little bit of moisture out there. A couple of spotty showers, 88 degrees. And we're also seeing a couple of spotty showers as well in Barbados and also into Trinidad. Nice and warm in Trinidad. Temperatures are in the low 90s. So here's a look at the extended forecast. Again, the winds will be increasing through tonight and also throughout the day on Saturday. And we will see those showers tapering off by the afternoon hours on Saturday, turning much cooler Saturday night with lows only in the 50s and much cooler on Sunday as well. We should be near 70 degrees this time of the year. We're only in the low 60s on Sunday. By Monday, next storm system will be moving into the region. Few spotty showers, temperatures a little bit warmer, near 70 degrees, and then we'll stay in the low 70s as we head into Tuesday and also into Wednesday. Of course, to stay up to date with the latest weather information and news around the area, tune into these 3 local radio stations: Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
It's a good game, man, Ernie. Sure is. Can you pass me the bucket? I got the bucket of cold ones right here. Not that bucket. I'm not thirsty. What do you want, the popcorn bucket? This ain't no movie. Well, what bucket do you want? The bucket of KFC. Oh, I got both of them. I got the Bing bucket and I got the regular bucket. Yes. You know the game ain't the same without KFC.
Order your KFC bucket before the big game. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Every day, a tsunami hits Bermuda. A tidal wave of information and images floods our phones, laptops, and tablets. We're awash in emails, posts, tweets, blogs, texts. As an advertiser, your message can easily get drowned out. Time to reach for the life raft. Technology changed the game, but television and radio still lead the way. Who doesn't have an all-time favorite TV ad?
Aflac, where's the beef?
You can count on us.
The man, your man could smell it.
TV remains the most powerful advertising tool in the world. For immediacy and engagement, you can't beat radio. Here at Bermuda Broadcasting, we can help you reach thousands of people at the same time. You might have a new small business or run a corporation. We can customize ads to help you build awareness and attract new customers. TV and radio advertising gets results. Call me, Diane Brewer, and I'll show you how. Depression nearly took the life of one young Bermudian whose travels across Southeast Asia is now inspiring people who suffer with mental illness to not give up hope. Jasmine Patterson spoke with the creator, Kareem Sharif, on what inspired his hit viral video, Fearless.
Bermudian multimedia designer Kareem Sharif was diagnosed with depression at the age of 12. And at 31, in the grips of the disorder, he was prepared to end his life. But after embarking on a 10.5-month trip to Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Malaysia, he's released a video, Fearless, with the hashtag New Year Still Here, showing social media what he would have missed.
It was very nerve-wracking to sort of put myself out there like that. And in that time, another friend that I met traveling came down to visit in Bermuda. So I ended up showing her. And she's like, this is amazing. Like, what are you going to do with this? And I was like, well, I'm thinking of just releasing it publicly. And she's like, wow, like, that's a huge step, but I think you should. I think it could do a lot of good. And that was sort of the intent with it, was to not necessarily focus on the negative aspect, but more, if you push through, then there could be really amazing things on the other side of that sort of dip.
Taking time to unplug from social media during his travels, he found a connection with fellow travelers that helped him cope with his depression.
Well, I got 2 diving certifications while I was out there. I ended up diving with thresher sharks in the Philippines, which is amazing. When I was living in Cambodia, I was there for a total of 12 weeks. I taught myself to fire spin. So I actually paid for some of my trip by doing impromptu fire shows and having people sort of drop money in a hat, kind of things like that. And then just local transportation is amazing. They have these really unique vehicles, like little tuk-tuks and these crazy Mad Max looking vans and stuff like that. And honestly, a lot of the focus is on people, because the people that you meet, you'll have so much in common, because if you're like-minded, you'll tend to sort of follow the same paths and be doing the same things.
Mr. Sharif also realized that most people do not share their struggles openly.
Everything's instant gratification. Everyone kind of posts their highlight reels. Nobody really wants to say anything that's, maybe a little bit taboo or a little bit depressing. Nobody wants to be a downer. Everyone just wants to look like life is amazing all the time. So when you're constantly being bombarded with that kind of information and you see that and you're looking at other people's lives around you and you're like, wow, everyone has their stuff together. What is it with my life that I can't figure things out? But it's really, you're only seeing the highlight reel, and everyone's going through tough times,
The Fearless video was a hit across Facebook and YouTube, with people reaching out to share their battles of mental health issues, something Mr. Sharif continues to encourage people to do.
Number 1, recognize no matter how you feel, you're not alone. Someone out there will share some time, space with you so that you can sort of vent and get those frustrations out. Because if you bottle it up, then it's just going to compound and it's just going to get worse. And number 2, I would definitely say that even though, life has its ups and downs, if you don't sort of stick around, you don't want it to be your last one. You want to stick around long enough for it to get better again, because life is about contrast. You're going to have good, you're going to have bad, and you just kind of have to take it all in stride.
Wanderlust has certainly sunk in, as Mr. Sharif tells us. He hopes to return to Asia by the end of the year. Having overcome life's obstacles, he shares this message.
Just be good to people. That's the takeaway. Just be good to people. You never know what struggles someone is going through, no matter how happy they seem. You never know what someone's going through. So the nicer you are to people, the better it is for everyone. And it just spreads. Happiness spreads.
Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Turning to sports, Bermudian Delray Rollins yet again impressive while playing for England's under-19 team in India. Earl Baston brings us the latest on Rollins and much more in tonight's Sports Report.
Rollins and his English under-19 teammates find themselves down 2-1 in the series after the third one-day international match in Mumbai. England won the toss and elected to bat. They were dismissed for 215 in 49 overs, with Rollins the top scorer on 96. He hit 11 fours and 2 sixes in his knock. India, in reply, would score 216 for 3 in 44.1 overs. Rollins returned bowling figures of 8 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 30. Following the match, Rollins said, "It was tough today at the start. I managed to get through a little period where they were on top. We look forward to playing on Monday." Rollins went on to say, "I was unlucky to get out the way I did. However, these are things as young players we will learn from." He concluded by saying, "In the field, the boys gave it everything. We were about 40 runs short of making it a good contest." Meanwhile, Kamal Levrock and his ICC Americas teammates went down to Barbados Pride in their latest match of the West Indies Regional 50-over tournament by 171 runs. Barbados won the toss and elected to bat first, and after 50 overs, they reached 282 for 9. Opener Craig Brathwaite was the top scorer with 108. Cecil Perez was the pick of the ICC Americas bowlers with figures of 10 overs, 3 for 59. In reply, the ICC Americas got off to the worst possible start, losing 3 wickets, including Levrock in the first 3 overs. Levrock, coming in off a knock of 75 in their last game against Jamaica Scorpions, was out for 1. They were eventually bowled all out for 111, with Timroy Allen the top scorer on 36, while Jason Holder led the Barbados Pride bowling attack with figures of 10 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 25. Nucky Wells scored what proved to be the winner for Huddersfield last night in their 3-1 victory against championship leaders Brighton Hove Albion. Vowles took his chance this way. The Bermuda Football Association's Women's Committee last evening launched the 2017 Women's Football Activities. Founder of Women's Football in Bermuda, Alicia Zul, is delighted with this new start.
Yes, I'm glad to see it coming back to light because like I say, in the last 10 years or so, it seems like we started to drift away. So I'm glad to see that the Women's Committee, the BFA, Shaquita and Sharice and with FIFA joining in to help us to bring back women's football in Bermuda, because I feel that we're not where we should be like any other country or state in the world when it comes to women's football.
Shaquita Parsons, the chairperson for the Bermuda Football Association's Women's Committee, announced the schedule for the two leagues set to get underway.
The Women's Youth League will start February 11, 2017, and the Seniors Women's League will start up again in spring of 2017. We anticipate building the success of Girls Play 2 and Women's League initiatives last year. In addition, we look forward to our U17, U20, and senior women doing well in the World Cup qualifiers this summer. Having sustainable youth and senior leagues will ensure the upward trajectory of our women's national football team.
Noah Brown bowed out of the McLean Squash Open in Virginia recently. Brown took on the tournament's number 8 seed, Babatu Abaje, from Nigeria, going down in 5 games. Abaje won the first game 11-6, but Brown would level the match at 1-1 when he won the second game 11-7. Abaje would go ahead 2-1 with a lengthy third game win 18-16. But yet again, Brown would fight back to win game 4 11-3. Brown was unable to continue his form from the fourth game and went down in the fifth 11-4. In Island Basketball League action inside the Cedar Ridge Academy Gymnasium, it saw a league scoring record broken and a winning streak snapped. Island Ballers defeated the previously undefeated Tsunamis 85-65. The Tsunamis came into the game with a league record 14 games unbeaten streak, but Omar Wolf led the Island Ballers with a new league scoring record of 43 points, while Steven Simons scored 17 points for the Tsunamis. In the nightcap, the Rimrockers defeated Crossfire 62-52. Chris Howard would score 25 points for the Rimrockers, while Lyndon Jackson scored 22 points for Crossfire. 5 matches were played during the latest round of the Ariel Reed High School Rugby at the National Sports Center. In the under-16 division, Cedar Bridge went down 22-7 to Saltus. Saltus got 2 tries apiece from Zach Stevens and Max DeSaint-Croix, while Cameron DeSaint-Croix connected with a conversion. Cedar Bridge Academy's lone try came from Zaire Williams, with Paulo Souza adding the conversion. Work Academy then defeated the Barclay Institute 19-0. Work Academy got tries from Cameron Foote, Roy McKittrick, and Ben Crayford, while Matthew Daniel kicked 2 conversions. In another under-16 match, Work Academy edged Saltus 7-5. Matthew Daniel scored the lone try for Work Academy. He also added the conversion. Max DeSaint-Croix scored the lone try for Saltus, but their conversion attempt was missed. In the under-18 division, Saltus defeated Cedar Bridge Academy 10-5. Saltus got tries from Dylan Somerville and Neil Figueredo. Paulo Souza scored the lone try for Cedar Bridge Academy. Then the Barclay Institute defeated Bermuda Institute 10-7. The Barclay Institute got 2 tries from Nico Richardson and Asante Darrow. Alex Doyling scored a try and a conversion for Bermuda Institute. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Price Rate is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce, and an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world, and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone. Open 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. on Sundays.
Bermuda Broadcasting Company is pleased to inform our viewers Community Calendar will now appear on television. We are now providing Community Calendar 30 and 60-second television ads on ZFB TV7 at a special rate. You will have the opportunity to showcase your ad either 6:58, 7:58, or 8:58 p.m. Monday through Friday, a minimum of 7 days. For more information, please contact our sales and marketing department at 295-2828.
The folks at Troika Bermuda are at it again. You're invited to experience a Broadway-style show in Bermuda for the last time this Sunday, February the 5th. Troika will be performing a reprised Color Purple performance at the Ruth Seton James Auditorium starting at 3 p.m. The Color Purple show officially ended on New York's Broadway last month, and organizers say this performance gives Bermudians a unique opportunity to showcase their talent. Troika has been granted exclusive relicensing rights to this region, so you might want to turn out for the event this Sunday. Tickets are $70 and are only available at ptix.bm. And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for sharing your Friday evening with us. Everyone, have a fantastic weekend. Good night.